Welcome back to FTP Speed Shop PodCast, a podcast where we talk about what you talk about in the garage because, hey, we're in the garage. I'm your host, Mike Early, and today with me, I've got Travis Edwards. How you doing?
Good. Good. Glad to be here, Mike.
There you go. Perfect. That's what we were looking for. All right, let's take care of a quick bit of business real quick. This show is sponsored by FTPSpeedShop.com. Go hit up our website, check out the merch, get yourself some stuff, help support the channel, and on with the podcast. So, Travis, you're not as much of a car guy as most of the guys that are in here. What are you working on in your garage right now?
Mostly just cleaning it. Yeah, as a construction worker, you can imagine what my garage looks like. So not a lot of work gets done, mostly just reorganizing junk piles.
Yeah, just move it. That's the fucking truth. You got to move this pile of lumber and drywall and like a random door or window that you've had for 6 years.
Right.
Just keep shuffling it around to the next corner. So, I've known Travis since, third grade, I think, probably?
Right,
something like
grade,
that, third,
like
fourth
that.
grade, yeah. So we've been friends ever since, and we were bike buds, I guess. I don't know what you call that. It might sound kind of gay.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of, but it was fine.
It was all right. And then, we got into the cars a little bit in high school,
More trucks for me, but...
Yeah, I don't know. The Caprice is pretty badass.
I know. But it was a truck in my brain.
Yeah, that's absolutely 100% true. Building dirt jumps and hauling around your dad's rototiller. I don't know if your dad knows we took the rototiller.
No.
Okay, I shouldn't have said that. He doesn't.
Probably doesn't.
Does he watch?
He will now.
Okay, good. Hauling around the rototiller and the back of the Caprice down to the dead end so we could build some jumps for our BMX and mountain bikes.
Right. The age of having to go outside.
Yeah, absolutely. There was nothing to do. I guess there was like the Super Nintendo and the Sega and stuff like that, but it was
mostly get out of our house.
Yeah,
and go do something until the streetlights come on. And then when the streetlights comes on, just know we're going to be very angry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I always try to use that line on my parents that the streetlights weren't on at Travis's house, and my mom was like, bullshit. He lives like 10 blocks away. They definitely were on, because I'd always try to skeek it out to the last minute, and just wait till they turned on and then pedal my ass home as fast as possible.
Right.
You had the Caprice, and that was the first car out of, I think you were the first. Were you the first one of all of our friends to be able to drive?
I was. And that car, just a background on that car, when we moved here from Wyoming, my dad had always drove like a company truck, a big burly man truck.
Ford F-150.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe a Dodge. I don't know. Who knows? Long story short, when we get here, that was the car. And being in Wyoming in the oil field, like cars weren't even an option. So
yeah, you weren't getting around.
Wow, like this Nebraska place is weird. Like men drive cars here.
Was that a company car?
It was a company car.
That
went to auction. I don't know what the story was, but it went back and forth. It may or may not have been a used car that the company got, but I don't know what the deal was. But my dad got a deal on it. Basically.
Then it came from it wasn't, I don't know, whatever the hell the company was called.
Mapco, Williams, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was like three.
ET if you're investing in stocks. ET is the stock ticker for it.
Okay, so
pays about 9% dividends, so it's a pretty decent stock.
Okay, I'm gonna have to. What did you say, ET?
Yes, write that one down.
I'm gonna write that one down. This is not financial advice, just for everybody. Only invest what you can afford to lose, and we'll go on from there. Right. So that literally was an oil company truck. I didn't know that.
I believe so. I mean, don't quote me on it, but yes.
It's too late. We're quoting you. It's already happened. That's cool. I did not know that.
And then he eventually moved on to the newer Caprice later on, and then I think once he got in charge of things, they switched back to trucks.
He's like, we ain't driving these damn girly cars anymore.
Yeah. Car just doesn't work well in the pipeline. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see how that could be trouble, because I mean, most of the time you're going out. Everything in the pipeline is in a field. It's not in a parking lot. It's not, going downtown. Usually it's in a field.
Exactly.
So you're at least on sketchy back roads or gravel roads most of the time.
No need for a Caprice.
But I mean, in the Caprice's defense, I mean, Was
It's a utility vehicle in all reality. It's not. It's more of a sport utility, honestly.
Yeah, before sport utilities, that's for sure. Yeah, that was the first car of the group. I remember trying to soup it up. We did such things as like flip the air cleaner lid.
Rode without it one night.
Oh yeah,
to see.
yeah. We had to hop it
It's
up
a little bit faster now.
Yeah. Yeah. What was that? The 4.3 or whatever V6, or was it a V8?
I don't know. I think it was a 4.3.
Yeah.
I believe it was a 4.3.
Yeah, I couldn't remember what it was, but yeah, that boy.
What's a 305?
Oh, that'd be a 5.0. Was it a 305? So that'd be a V8.
Yeah. I just remember it was a 300 something. Again, not a car guy. Sorry.
That's all right. We won't hold it against you.
Sheesh, that one's going to be held against you.
Yeah.
I also drive a van to do construction, so
your van life.
Yeah, I have a van to do construction, so I'm in that weird gray area.
I told you need to start a YouTube channel and call it Van Life.
I don't fit in with that crowd. There was one guy, but he's gone now.
Would they kick him out?
No, I think he did something to his girlfriend in Yellowstone, but I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, he is gone officially. I think he went to meet his maker
somewhere in Florida.
Yeah. Okay, boy, that took a turn quick there for the.
I didn't mean. That's what happens.
That's all right. It's all right. That's what happens when you have non-car guys that listen to the news. They know what's going on.
No doubt.
But anyways, we had a lot of good times at Caprice. There was a lot of one-wheel peels.
Yes, one-wheel peels, broken sway bars. Definitely a lot of Walmart tires.
Yeah.
The first tire, Dad will pay for. Second tire, Dad will split it with you.
You're getting
third
cussed
tire,
out, yeah.
And then basically I just got to know the guy at Walmart that had the deal on the white walls, and I did that.
Were you just getting the takeoff? Somebody's wore out tires at that point, or were you?
No, I was
new
literally tires were cheap enough that you could just keep buying them because I always had a job. So.
Well, that's good. I mean,
I would rather buy a tire than tell my dad that I popped another tire. So, it comes with a cost, but it's peace.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you pay for peace.
Absolutely, it's a peace of mind, and not just having to listen to your dad or your wife or whoever is over you.
Right.
Holler at you and.
How can you break a sway bar 4 times? I don't know.
How did you break a sway bar 4 times?
I don't know. I don't know if there's wild turns, ditches.
There was a lot of wild turns.
A lot of gravel roads. Mm-hmm. Dukes of Hazzard stuff. I can honestly say that was probably the inspiration for a lot of my back road driving.
Yeah. Do you remember over by Lincoln Lumber, that railroad track there, and jumping our cars?
Purposely breaking cars, yeah.
Yeah, that was the Cavalier. First time was pretty cool. Second time it went sideways in the air a little bit, and it was like, I was like, I'm not doing that again. I literally just about ran into that building.
Yeah, I think that area has been cursed since then, actually.
Yeah. It's a lot of good times. Everybody that I talked to that lived over in this area or whatever, they all knew the Hinky Dinky Challenge. And there was a loading dock or something back there that you could hit at full speed. And I never knew about it.
Okay,
I don't know if it's still there, but I don't think I ever did that. Weird. I don't know if you took in that.
No, I feel like we were in the crowds that knew about the ledge behind PetSmart or something, like something that had to do with grinding or something on a skateboard or whatnot.
Yeah, I was glad you finished that. Not the dating app.
Oh, no, definitely just random, random places in Lincoln that didn't have something in the way so you could jump your bike
they didn't have they didn't weld a bunch of chain link on the handrails, or didn't. What were they putting those little caps on every ledge so you couldn't do any sweet feeble grinds or blow your wrists out doing a Smith or something?
Just something simple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, we spent a lot of time riding bikes back in the day, for sure. And you're all in it now. You got your downhill mountain bikes and
full midlife crisis.
Yeah, hey, some people buy Corvettes.
Yeah, I want one. I mean, I think I want a Porsche the most. I'm looking at those ones that are in that 9,000 range, and I'm like, man.
Like a 90s Porsche?
Yeah, I don't care if it's going to break all the time. I just want some, Well,
you have that MG still, don't you?
Yes, I do. I've got a 74 MG that was bought by an Air Force pilot that was stationed over there from Offutt years back. Bought the car, so it has the overdrive. It has like the European features on it. So in my mind, when I saw it on Facebook, I have a disease. It's called impulse buying. It seemed like a deal that couldn't be refused. It was the color that I like, which is, maybe baby shit yellow or, like a real good Dijon, like the good,
Does it have chunks of shit in it?
Yes, I'm attracted to that color. I don't know, I might have been born in the wrong.
It's a 70s color.
Yeah.
I like that.
Long story short, I saw the car. I'm like, dude, I need that car. Called my dad. Hey, I'm going to go buy this car. You drive me up there. We'll drive it back. Complete impulse buy. Did very little research. Just saw that the car was rare because it was, the guy bought it and had it shipped over here. Broke down on the way home. Got stranded for a couple hours.
Excellent.
Yes, it was awesome. It's the perfect story because every time we drive it, it breaks. But it's the car in the garage.
Yeah, last I talked to you, you were trying to get the brakes figured out, or that's what you knew was wrong. What was wrong with it? Maybe
the brakes are mushy. Right now, I've got a little small coolant leak that leaks onto the catalytic converter, or not the catalytic converter, but something with the carburetor. So if it leaks too much, then it kills it, and then you have to wait for it to dry out. So definitely not the catalytic converter. I don't know why I went that way.
Hey,
I'm thinking it's something with the spark plugs. Sheesh.
You really are a car guy. Man.
Wow. Yeah. Anyways, it leaves you on the side of the road. It takes about 15, 20 minutes to dry out with the hood. The last time I did it, I cut the beer can and I shoved it up under the drip and made it funnel off the other way, and we made it, all the way back home without it dying. So
that's good. I mean, that's why you should always come prepared with a beer can in your car so that you can take care of your coolant leak on the side of the highway.
Right.
That's definitely something that, that's a tech tip for the day. Make sure you always have at least a half drank to an empty beer can in your car so that you can chug it real quick if need be and fix the leaky coolant issue.
Hey, I know about drainage. I don't, I know the spark plugs don't like to get wet, though. Whatever's going on in there, nothing needs to get damp from the coolant.
Yeah, the distributor cap and
That's
rotor.
what it is. Thanks. You could have helped me out earlier, but you son of a bitch. He did that on purpose. I seen it in the corner of his eye, but it wouldn't come to me. What he was saying, he was like,
you started out with catalytic converter. I had no idea where you were going. You went from catalytic converter to carburetor.
Whatever. I saw your junk pile on the side, and I was thinking of catalytic. I'm like, geez, they're going to see that junk pile on the side of the building and want to get my catalytic converter.
I don't know. The neighbor guy did get his catalytic converter stolen this winter.
I'm scared. You got a decent scrap pile.
Yeah, it's mostly construction scrap. There's not much for car stuff.
What is that van thing back there?
Oh,
there was a creature, like a little. I couldn't tell if it was a scrap pile or like a fucking what do you call those things that go in a Loch Ness monster, maybe some sort of creature. The postal truck. Oh,
okay. I literally was trying to think of what I had back there that looked like a Loch Ness monster.
Hey, long hair. Yeah. Work with me.
Goddamn dirty hippies.
You ever heard the song Puff the Magic Dragon? Come on.
Yeah, maybe once or twice. No, that's the newest project.
Nice. Where are you going with that?
Twin turbo 6-liter.
Sounds aggressive for a van.
Yeah, air ride, slam it on the ground.
Oh,
and,
nice.
And probably make it have somewhere around, 700, 800 horsepower.
Wow. Really pouring it out on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It probably won't have, it might. We'll see. It'll be a stock bottom end 6-liter.
Nice.
Unless I keep the motor it'll be the motor that's in the Chevelle minus the blower. So just have turbos instead of the blower.
I'm looking at it back there. I'm like, that seems like an expensive old ice cream truck.
Yeah, it was free.
Nice.
So, yeah. I need to get a bill of sale.
All the parts and the time. I mean, sheesh.
Oh, it'll be expensive, but I like to tinker. So I need to have my tinkering.
Gotcha.
And I got to have content for these people out here,
Yes, the audience.
The audience, yeah. I like to think of these cameras as people. So right now I've got, 4 people in the garage.
I'm hoping the people that are watching are the people editing it and trying to compile this thing into something that works.
That'll be me. That'll be me.
You're like, geez, where am I going with this?
Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. I mean, I'm going to definitely probably lead the intro with the catalytic converter carburetor spark plug thing.
Nice. Just start it out right. Look, this guy doesn't know what the
we got
about.
We got Travis on here. He's not much of a car guy, and then go into I think it's a catalytic converter carburetor spark plugs.
You led me into that.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't have brought up the MG.
Touchy subject. My wife is still wondering why we spent that money on there.
Yeah, you got 13 miles on it since you bought it. That's pretty good.
Seemed like a good idea that day. I'm an impulse buyer. What can I say?
Don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah. Especially impulse. That's the worst drug of all.
Well, that is true. It is. Then you get that buyer's remorse.
Not really. I feel like I can always get my money out of it.
Yeah, I mean, with classics, I feel like you probably can, unless you buy them like right now at the peak of the market. But
right.
You bought that, what, 10 years ago, 8 years ago?
I'm stubborn, too. Like, I'll hold out.
Oh, absolutely.
Keep waiting. Look at my blood. My dad has a 78 whatever Trans Am that he's held out on. Like, it's in my blood to just carry things and not have any fun with them.
You say it like that, it sounds like such a good time.
I know. Someday this thing's going to be worth $1 million.
Someday I'm going to have fun with this. Just as soon as I retire, I'm going to have fun with this.
Isn't that why we buy cryptocurrency?
Oh boy, tough. Again, this is not financial advice. Only invest what you can afford to lose.
It's hard times right now, but we'll make it out.
Yeah, I've only seen the MG once, and I don't know that I'd call it. What did you call it? Baby shit yellow?
Yeah.
I would have called it like more like an old man tan or something.
Yeah.
But
It's an awkward color, but very lovable if you're a person like me. I like those, earthy colors.
You need to get some of that orange shag carpet in your house or something.
Yes. I like it. I like 70s for sure.
Absolutely. Those colors are actually coming back. And
Nice.
actually some of the, one thing I noticed was I think it's a new Blazers, or there's a couple cars where they're like the teals and the kind of just the 50s, 60s colors, those pastels, bright colors are coming back, which is kind of cool to see. And then almost candy apple red. I've seen a handful of cars that have really...
The mythological candy apple red.
Oh, yes. Candy is next door if you want to go see it. It's probably
Close to Jesus Christ in the early family.
I don't know that my dad would agree with that. However,
sorry. Long story short, candy was the car of destiny when we were children.
Yeah, that was the coolest thing in the world, and we weren't allowed to look at it or touch it or get
But
near
it did have sheets with a shelf that could hold whatever needed to be held. Maybe some Miracle-Gro bags.
Actually, that's maybe that's where you get it. You just got a car that you park in the garage and don't do anything with.
Yes.
That's exactly what our dads did with cars.
the all-American dream. We all grew up to be our dads in some way or another, and yeah, basically, yes, I park a car. Yeah.
The shelf aspect.
And then yell at everybody every time I take the cover off and find the new dead. Who the fuck did this? God.
That's why I don't. That's why I don't put car covers on mine anymore.
Yeah, I know damn good and well I dropped the rake, but I wanted to blame it on somebody else. I know you did it.
Every Saturday morning, Chuck would take the cover off the 66 to do something on it or whatever, and maybe not every Saturday, but I would get an ass. Me and my brother both would get an ass chewing. Just freaking wake up you guys and your fucking piece of shit bikes freaking slamming your bar. And he would always do the science. He was like a freaking CSI investigator because he would grab each bike and put the bar in right, and he'd lean the bike just enough so it would hit in the right spot. And
you have to.
See, this was your bike. This is not Ryan's bike. This was your bike. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I walked by with my hand on the side because I don't want to get yelled at every time I take the car cover off. But hey, maybe. Yeah. It could have been me.
I'm sorry. Bud, we're trying to live here.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No one's purposely hurting this car. We know you're ready to kill someone at any moment for it.
Yeah, so basically, you just become our dads.
Yeah.
Now you got a car in the garage that
you don't do anything with, and basically the tires rot off of it.
Yeah. You said something, did you say about mountain bikes in one of the intros we did.
Yeah. So I do ride mountain bikes. It's a hobby that Mike and I both did as youngsters. We have like a 30-year friendship here, basically.
Yeah, I think we what, third grade? Is that fourth grade, something
Third,
like
fourth
that?
grade,
You moved
we'll
here
go with
from
that.
Wyoming.
And Mike was the first kid that I met that didn't have a video game addiction, which helps.
Yeah, we just had a regular Nintendo back then.
Yeah. Well, there were kids that really got the Nintendo and really wanted to stay on it, and then there were kids that were like, I gotta.
Well, yeah, and then there was you guys had a. You guys had the Super Nintendo 2 or whatever it was called. I remember playing freaking Mario Kart.
Yeah, that was my I wanted to be a video game guy.
Yeah, I never was super big into it.
I could do it at night when it was dark and you couldn't go outside.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Like it was like on the birthday sleepovers or the random Thursday night.
I wanted to be the guy that could just sit there, but unfortunately, Mike and I needed to dig in dumpsters and build forts.
Dude, yeah, and we grew up in the perfect spot for that.
Yes.
Because we had the urban crawl and it was growing out that way, but it was going into cornfields, so there was tons of draws and stuff we could build jumps in and build trails in and tree forts. I remember.
Right.
Oh fuck! I don't know why this just popped in my head, but the tree fort we built just north of your guys' house, where that cow pond where we went swimming in was. It wasn't quite to that. Yeah, we go swimming in cow ponds and shit like that. Yeah.
Wallers, more or less.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Whatever you want to call them.
Yeah. Disgusting pits of mud.
Yeah, we smelled like fertilizer and stank water when we got out of there. But
that's what the problem is. The Roundup, dude.
Kids aren't doing that stuff nowadays. Dude. That's the problem.
Whoa. Hit us hard.
Yeah. But that fort we had. I don't know if I could.
Forts. These were dangerous forts.
These were all stolen.
15 foot, and then you would go up a little bit more, and maybe
another platform or whatever. I remember we built this
dangerous forts.
Enclosed platform. It was probably about 7-8 foot off the ground, and we had a trap door in it, and that was the way we climbed up it. Got through the trap door.
This was with a handful of nails, by the way, that we found on the ground.
We'd find framing nails that went in a framing gun, and we would jack all of them and pick them all up, and then we'd individually tear them off and nail those in. I was just getting back from doing a recon mission, picking up some 2x4s and plywood, and I was getting ready to go in the trap door, and what did I see? I saw a fucking bare ass full moon shitting out of our trap door.
You call it a trap door? I called it the crapper. I didn't know it wasn't a dual purpose door. Well,
that's true, but there was definitely a pile of shit on the ground right underneath our dual purpose door.
Again, that was a deterrent for any rival fort people,
There was no fort people out there at that time. Remember
there were some dirt bikers that were very aggressive against us. They didn't like us in their section, but yeah. Long story short, it was a defensive move, and I had to go. There was a lot of bean burritos and stuff eaten at that time in my life.
Yeah, I just had to swing into the gas station, get some Jolt and whatever thing was spinning on the little carousel. Oh yeah, the bikers, the motorcycle guys chasing us down in the field by the trailer park.
Yeah, I don't know if they really were chasing us down, but we felt like it was happening.
We definitely threw dirt clods in our grandma's pool, so... Yeah,
R.I.P.
I don't know if we deserved it or not, but
gone but not forgotten.
They definitely scared the shit out of us. Their motorcycles were way faster than our bicycles.
In their defense, I've used him for electrical work twice.
I have not used him for electrical work, but I have talked to him multiple times, and we are on waving terms.
There you go.
We see each other at the store, so
there you go.
All has been forgiven, I guess.
Yes. So for all your LED transfer needs.
There you go.
So
speaking of taking lumber out of the dumpster, nowadays that's called stealing, I think. I don't know.
Well, and the dumpsters are different, mind you. You're never going to find 3/4 of a sheet of fucking plywood ever
nowadays,
again.
No.
We lived in the heyday of fort building.
Yeah, that's true. That was honestly, a $4 sheet of plywood.
Yeah, the things Yeah, you just can't build a fort like that these days.
Yeah, no, they were legit forts. Remember that one time we were walking down the Salt Creek randomly, just going on those trails? We're probably following deer trails or animal trails or whatever, and we
Bum trails, but yeah.
Yeah, okay, you just beat me to it. But remember we found the meth lab?
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, that's what Salt Creek was known for. We didn't know that at the time. We
were just exploring
personally,
the wilderness.
I considered it as a forageable river. And that what leads us to, getting the canoe and foraging it. Really, we needed to figure out. You could say we're the Lewis and Clark of Lincoln, really. I don't know anyone else that's foraged from basically the sewer inlet.
Where did we dump in at? It was, we dumped in right at the 27th.
Yeah, right over there by 27th, where all the weird pizza places and shit are now.
Yeah.
But we got in there and then we got out. There's car dealerships there now, but that was a good run for a couple of young guys.
It was
with a canoe that was borrowed.
That was it was the
right before the snowstorm of the century.
Yeah, it was like literally it was October, I think, but it was cold as fuck, and I'm in my Salvation Army freaking military pants that we picked up and freezing my ass off.
Seems like a great idea at the time.
So Travis brought a bottle of tequila to celebrate the good old days in my parents' basement. I don't know if Nancy knows about this or not, but she definitely yelled at us a handful of times.
Thanks, Chuck. And just know, as a young parent, don't take your kids to Mexican food restaurants and do margaritas and stuff. Makes it look really fun.
I mean, in my parents' defense, they seemed like they had a lot of fun.
I know it. And that's what I mean. Like, I'm like, oh, geez, Chuck was nice on the way home. We got to hang out the back window, basically. He drove us up and down O Street. Like,
doing burnouts on every single piece of brick he saw.
That was in the Oldsmobile, too.
It was either Oldsmobile or the 57, the daily driver 57.
If it was a good day, Chuck would take us in the Mazda and meet Nancy there after church,
if we were working on the apartments or whatever.
Some nights, there was always that Saturday that was because we usually work Saturdays because we had school, obviously. But, there was that, we'll go to church on Saturday, get that done.
We're going to go down like a work.
Chi-chis.
We're going to go down like an old work rabbit hole because there's stories that I got for hours. But yeah, my parents' MO was they were big fans of margaritas. They were big fans of Chi-chis. And my dad was 57 Chevys and 66 Chevelles. So he had a daily driver-ish, driver, 57 Chevy. And they would blend up those big gulps or whatever the hell they were, gas station plastic cups. They'd blend up a couple pitchers of margaritas, fill that up, set them on the transmission tunnel. We'd go to church on Saturday night. They'd come out of church. They'd be ready to go. They'd have a couple pulls off of them and cruise over to maybe do a lap or two down O Street and then cruise over to Chi-Chi's. And we would sit there and play pool and they would drink margaritas.
Yeah.
And
basically, like I said, when oh, wait, this was a different podcast, but when I said that, like, our parents basically kicked us out, like, we would get there and it was like, hey, here's some quarters, like, go find something to fucking do.
Yeah. We'd be in the bar playing pool. And,
getting to plug the jukebox, whatever it was. Good old days.
Put on some Bob Seger and a Silver Bullet Band or something.
No doubt, dude. Oh, man. Against the wind, shit. If you're going to play pool, you got to play against the wind.
Yeah. Or, Traveling Band, Beautiful Loser. Beautiful Loser.
Anything Seeger, really. I mean, he's classic.
So Travis helped when my dad was moving houses and building some apartments for fun in his free time. You remember Dode?
Yes.
Old Doder. You remember when we were tearing off the roof? We were probably, 13, 14 years old, tearing off the roof at 57th Street. Mm-hmm. And it was hotter than hell in the summer. We'd freeze our Gatorade bottles and then we'd set them up on the ridge cap and let them thaw out.
Yep.
Remember what Dode said when he saw that?
Yeah. Wait, I didn't know. Edit. I was going to say something. Long story short, it looked like an ice dick.
Yeah, I believe his exact words were, "Jesus, boys, what do you got that big ice dick up there for?" or something that.
There were some other words said, but you can't say those now. They're
That's
cut
true.
out.
Okay, yeah, that's what the edit's for. Yeah.
We got it. We're politically correct.
He had a way within reason.
He was a wordsmith.
Yes. Still is.
Dode's the kind of guy that, like, you look at in life. Speaking of which, Dode had a box Chevy that was fucking money, like absolutely money. And I'll never forget this truck.
Big red.
Yeah, this truck, by the way. My dad had this truck when we lived in Wyoming, so I loved the truck. Long story short, Mike and I were young. And we were throwing shit in the back of the truck.
No, we just got done tearing off the roof, and we didn't know any better, so we just threw all the shingles on the ground. Do you remember? Were you going with the game we played with Raymond? Do you remember that one? Now, you tell your story. I'll tell.
I don't remember what the game was we played with Raymond. I just remember the game that I played when I threw it through the fucking window in the back.
You threw the giant log thing through the back window.
And this was the time, like, when you could still get beat up by an old man. Like, there's a legitimate fear that an old man could punch you. So, like, you know, I had to think about how I was going to approach him and tell him that it broke his window.
Yeah, I do remember that. There was a lot of what should we? How do we? Okay. So what we're gonna say is that we threw it and then it bounced and it.
In Dode's defense, he was a real man and he knew what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
Like, I threw it in the back of the truck and it went through it and he took it like a man. So
yeah, he said, "Okay, well, boys, you're going to be buying me a new back window."
Who knows? I think Chuck paid for that.
I don't know if Chuck even remembers that.
Well, at the time, in my defense, I was making like $250 a fucking hour.
Like, you fucking remember the price, that's for damn sure.
Jesus, a $2.75 raise. I was like, geez, thanks, Chuck. Another quarter,
25-cent raise. After $2.75.
And I mean, in all honesty, at the time, it felt good inside.
Oh, I remember I worked that summer. I made $6,000 that summer. How many hours did I fucking work all summer to make $6,000? I was like the richest kid in junior high.
When Mike and I got a raise from Chuck from $2.75 or whatever it was to $5 an hour, we thought we'd struck gold.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna quit because I'm gonna go work at fucking Sonic because they're paying $7.75 or whatever it was." And he was like, he was gonna lose all of his good retard help.
Yeah, no, you got to think, like, this is the time when you couldn't, the only place you could get a job at 14 was McDonald's, and Mike and I were of the type of people that we wanted shit. Like, before we wanted bikes, we wanted baseball cards. Before after we wanted Pogs, baseball cards, whatever the phase was, like, we wanted to make the money to get it, and we wanted our own shit.
We had to have, because we needed to beat James Dobish's ass in Pogs. I remember playing that dude every single fucking day. I don't know if I'm supposed to name drop him.
Ooh, I don't know.
But
is he in prison?
I don't know. I haven't heard that name since
Sounds silly.
Forever.
Serial killer-ish.
Yeah, maybe. But
sorry.
He was not.
He was down that road.
He was not very good at Pogs. Was he a serial killer? Now you got me going down that road. But he wasn't very good at Pogs.
How many Pantera Pogs did you get off of him?
Ooh, I don't know, but I got.
Anything demonic?
I don't think so. But then again, I wouldn't know what it was. Like, ooh, this one has a pretty star on it. So yeah, but yeah, it was always, we gotta get our side hustle on so that we can support. Most of it was like a bike addiction. We got into like aggressive inline skating for a short period of time. I know it's kind of gay to admit that, but it cuts deep. Yeah. Skateboarding for a little bit.
We're opening up the dark secrets.
Yeah, we're going down Pandora's box right here.
Wow, dude, you're gonna bring up the K2 fatties?
My parents would not help me with those, so I had the just basic Kohl's rollerblade brand that I had to modify myself.
You know what? I don't regret it. I don't regret it.
Were they called the Fat Bobs?
No, I had K2 Fatty. I didn't get to the Fat Bobs. That was the next level above. I got the entry level ones. They were basically like a snowboard boot with wheels.
Yeah, just
but fucking awesome. Like
grind plates. You
can say whatever you want. Like we did a lot of sports together, but like we were pretty fucking good at rollerblading. It just the abuse of being a rollerblader is hard.
You're gonna tell me that? Okay, you're going all in. I mean, we were really good at rollerblading. I mean, we could rollerblade backwards, and you should see
downstairs.
You should see us zigzag through cones with our little like cut off shorts on.
Any ledge, like you better fucking hide your candles because we will fucking candle the shit out of any ledge. Like, I will, like, seriously, you better tell your grandma, like, I'll fucking take her candles.
We fucking did take our grandma's candles. We took our mom. Hey, Mom, this candle's almost empty. Can we have it? She's like, whatever. What's you idiots going to do? And we melt them all down. Remember,
they had no
making
idea.
Our own
they had
wax
no
thing.
idea. They thought we were doing witchcraft, I think.
Out of muffin
trays? What are they doing with the candles? We were just rubbing them on random fucking concrete slabs. Think if you were a business owner and you came out and you were like, what the fuck is this?
There's like 13 different colors just
it smells like lilac over here in fucking Bed Bath & Beyond. What the hell happened?
Fucking faggots.
They're everywhere. They spread their stuff.
Oh, great. Now it is Pride Month, so we might as well embrace it.
Yeah.
But we stole candles. We melted them down. We made our own custom blend of wax because we couldn't afford it.
Is there any way I could just get something besides tequila to drink because I'm out of this?
Yeah, absolutely. Grab another beer while you're in there.
We're gonna.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna drink just tequila.
Well, I did that. Get it. I was like. And I'm like, why did I do that?
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, no. Help yourself to the fridge. There's some Busch Light in there, some Michelob Ultra. There's some non-alcoholic beer. Yeah, get one for me while you're in there, sugar tits. There's some.
I don't know what you got in your cup. What are you drinking?
Those are just Lecoqs. There's some NA in there in case you're like recovering.
From a hangover or what?
I don't know. It's not my.
I've never recovered.
Not my spot to judge. But yeah, we definitely got into skateboarding, aggressive inline skating. We started out mountain biking. I think we dipped into BMX there for a while. I raced for a while, and then you went off to college because you graduated early, and I think you kind of kept going on the mountain biking thing where I got more in the BMX stuff. So. But that's all I have for that. Do you remember?
Well, if we're gonna go down the road of making wax, I remember when we were into making pants for a while. We got into fashion.
Yeah, we were fashion designers. Yeah. I made some badass bell bottoms out of a pair of jeans and another pair of corduroy pants.
I mean, really, we did a lot of just innovative things.
We were ahead of our time.
I mean. It was copying everybody, but we did it. Like everybody talked that they were going to do it, but then we were like, I'll go get that shitty pair of pants from the armory place or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'll cut the sides out of it and have my mom sew it in and be like, why are you so weird?
No, I used my mom's sewing machine and sewed my own.
Nice.
Yeah, I learned that in home ec. I don't think kids take home ec anymore. I learned how to use a sewing machine in home ec with the... you had to build those frogs,
Yeah, the last thing I fucking made was a frog.
The bean frogs or corn? I was done.
Once I made a frog, I was like, what more is there to do?
I got all my life skills. Yeah. I can make a frog. If I'm ever in like cold and need shelter, I can just sew myself a frog.
I mean, all the places I live, I look for like a seamstress, you know?
Really?
Yes.
I've never looked for a seamstress once.
Never.
I
totally made that up.
All right.
Like I've never used a seamstress.
All right, that makes sense. I did take our sewing machine into the fuck these guys, by the way. I think is it Husker, Nebraska, Sovac, whatever, over there on in between Vine and
Yeah,
Holdridge, 48th. And they were going to check out my sewing machine, figure out what was wrong with it. Well, it needed some part that was kind of expensive. And I said, okay, well, hold on. I'm going to talk to my wife, decide if we're going to spend the $182 on a shitty sewing machine that was actually like a really nice one. Yeah, they threw it away. That was fun. So I had to go raise holy hell with them. And then they got me on the
Sewing
camera.
machines are hard because I feel like they're all really expensive, but someone always gives you them.
Yeah, we definitely got one from...
So then you're like, I've got this really expensive sewing machine, but like, it's given to me.
What do I do with it? You
Yes.
got to load the bobbin up.
Yeah, and then when you go to work on it, like, you're like, when you get it, you're like, oh, fuck,
I'm gonna stitch
I'm gonna
something.
actually fix these pants or whatever. And then you're like, I can't sew Carhartts or I can't do this. Well, fuck this sewing machine, you know?
Dude, you're missing out, man. Got to bust that bitch out.
I'm also the same person with a garage that organizes totes. Like, you're way more aggressive in your activities. Like, I'm more aggressive in activities that consist of, like, going somewhere, riding a bike.
Yeah.
You're a guy that can, like, be in his habitat and be like, I'm going to make something work here, where I'm like, I got to get out of here. Which, you know, in reality, kind of has been my MO my whole life. Like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah, but you always keep coming back. Kind of.
Kind of. This last time, you know, I had two pretty decent reasons to come back. Major child support.
Oh, okay. So it was a different kind of anchor.
Yeah, like I left, and then you know.
Different kind of anchor. I got you.
Either way, we're to the point now where, like, hey, you know, it's either get put up or shut up. So if I stay here, it was meant to be, like, because the kids are older. I'm done with child support. I made it through 18 years of child support with 2 kids, Mike. I know that's not a big accomplishment, but like,
I mean, hey, you're really doing
I
something.
went to your graduation party. Fuck, man. Come on. You went to college. I was pretty impressed. I was like
that
honestly,
kid can't even read or spell, and he went to college.
On the list of, not even that, like, I just look at it like, of all the people, of all my homies, and like, when you sent me that invitation to go to your graduation party, I was like, holy fuck, like, Mike did it, like, because you were the guy that was like, you know what, I'm going to do construction no matter what. I don't give a fuck. But you still went ahead and...
Oh, I did. It wasn't by choice.
It doesn't matter. You still did it.
Well, that's true.
It's choice to do it. And that's going back to this generation bullshit, or like old this, that, or whatever. Like, some of that stuff pays off. You know what I mean? Whether you use it or not, like, it paid you in dividends, you know, whatever. So you can say that they pushed you to do this or that, but you did it. You know what I mean? No matter what, it was you. You are...
Well, that's 100% true, but I'm also the person, too, that can't, once I start a project, I can't quit until it's done, or, I mean, at least completed enough to be functional.
Well, then why don't you have front yard grass?
Wow. Boy, that cut deep.
Ooh, sorry.
Oh, wow.
Didn't know I was going to go there. I pulled up. I'm like, Mike lives next to this guy, by the way, that just has a yard that I don't know if, like, fucking...
It's a fucking jungle.
It's a forest of...
Forest, yeah.
Yeah,
forest
but it's a beautiful array of, like, you know, it's like a... What do they call that? When it's like a bunch of trees. Arboretum? What's the word? Give it to me. Retardation, something like that.
I don't know.
Either way, like, the trees are fucking awesome, basically.
Yeah, no, he's got plants on plants on plants. He's basically like when they had Pimp My Ride, you know, and Exhibit was like, yo, I heard you like plants, so we put plants on your plants. That's what it is. Because there's plants everywhere.
Are you mocking Exhibit? Like, that was one of the best shows I ever...
No, I'm not. I'm
not, again, back to the not a car guy, but I am a car guy deep down inside.
I'm bringing a car reference to the let's go steal our grandma's candles and make
okay,
wax.
Geez. Yeah.
I know it took a long time to get there, but I'm just trying to bring it all back home.
You're like, shit, fuck, I can't take this down like memory lane with these people.
But okay, so I'm writing down grass just in case we go off subject again so I can remember it. The reason why I don't have a stand of grass is I did get yard of the month after we moved in here about 3 years in because I had got the grass up nice. But once we redid the foundation,
recovered
all the clay and everything digging the basement out, there was a ton of extra dirt. Well, that ended up just getting graded out there, and I have this is the first year I didn't actually spend any money on grass seed because I was like, it's just gonna fucking burn out, it ain't worth it, so fuck it, and I'm just gonna be happy with it.
Sounds like excuses, but whatever you want to say. I mean,
hey, if there's any way you could just come over here and just take care of that maybe every Tuesday, that'd be great. Just whatever you got to do, you got to put some chemicals down, or you got to put some horse manure or something. I don't know.
Damn. All right, let's get to the Saturday or Sunday morning car shows that we watched, because I feel like that's a big part of our history that like a lot of people don't understand, but I feel like this is the stem of that because I see the things that we
trucking.
Yeah, like the dude with the fucking
power
Guy Ferrari fucking haircut,
the power hour
4x4 or whatever.
Truck U was one of them.
I mean, I hate to say it, but Mike and I would watch. We didn't have iPads and shit, so like, if there were 2 episodes of Pacific Blue on in a row, like. You goddamn bet your ass we're gonna sit there and watch them.
Holy shit, Pacific Blue! I forgot all about Pacific Blue, but now all of a sudden I want to strap on some spandex that has police written on it and go jump off of like
Easy
a
with
retaining
the
wall.
on shit. Like I don't want to go too far here. Jesus. Come
okay,
on,
yeah.
pull it together.
Sorry. Let me hold on. All right, let me rephrase.
Pacific Blue, by the way, was just a bike messenger show.
I thought it was about cops. I thought there was cops on bikes.
It was, it was, no. Okay, so it was a bike cop show.
Yeah.
Long story short, it was basically Baywatch.
But for bikes.
Bikes.
Yeah, like bike cops.
And they would like... the bike cops would always be like dealing with this like persistent mountain biker gang that would be like really good at like pogo sticking on a pier or something fucking crazy,
No, I just all I remember is there was always that one shot where they were like going off of a wall or a ledge or something, and they'd always do the little kick out, and they were like maybe like a little partial tabletop a little bit because bike cops always do that when they're hitting a 4-set. They're always like and they just do that little
I mean,
half tabletop, maybe
cops always try to show off.
Maybe do an X up,
Yeah, dude, you gotta that one lost shot. You gotta take it.
Oh shit! Speaking of TV and cops, do you remember on the public access channel way back in the day? We can go down. There's a lot of good stories about channels.
I don't want to go down too many like channels because there were a lot of those when we were like trying to look at something like
channel
when we got in that like 74 or 77. Like we were like trying to look at like a squiggle because there might be a titty in there. And God damn.
Yeah, it's channel 77.
4 hours on a titty, like.
Yeah, well, nowadays kids got it easy.
Yeah,
but they had that public access channel, and they'd always have the cops training on the bikes, and they were always at the fountains downtown. And I remember watching cops flip bars trying to ride up the steps. And I would laugh my ass off. I was like, these fucking idiots don't know how to ride a bike up steps. I'm freaking 12, and I could totally do that.
I'm 12. I got it.
Yeah, I should be a bike cop. Oh, fuck.
You're hitting all of, making fun of cops, fucking, where do we want to go next?
Making fun of cops, so that's where we're headed next. I got so I ordered personalized.
That one gets the clicks all the time.
Well, FTP stands for fried turkey penis, or fuck the police.
I told my dad that, and my dad goes, "What does FTP stands for?" I was like, "Fuck the police," and he goes, "Mike thinks like that," and I was like, "No, full throttle performance," and he was like, "Wait, which one is it?" And I'm like, "Dude, get out of here."
He's like, "All right, so we gotta watch him." But Oh fuck! Oh yeah. So I had some personalized plates for the sub 100, the truck, and so FTP Speed wouldn't fit on there because you can only have 7 digits, letters, whatever you want to call it. So I deleted an E, so it was FTP Sped. Turns out, long story short, that's short for special ed. So it was FTP Special Ed, basically. And all my friends were making fun of me. And I was like, hey, guys, thanks for the heads up after I told you I was going to get that. Because Ben was walked up. He's like, hey, which one's the sped in here? And I was like, I don't know. Brandy likes to drive fast. I like to drive fast. I guess we both kind of speed or we're sped or whatever. So, but I did get new plates. I got FTP Lude for personalized plates for the Prelude. And that got rejected from the website thing. But FTP SPD did not get rejected because I had to get rid of the special ed plates. Sorry, I'm
Dude, you're throwing me
dropping
way
a
off,
lot
like,
of shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to get rid of FTP Special Ed for the truck. So I got FTP SPD. Because that's,
I don't know. I feel like this is entrapment. Are you just trying to get me to say retard or something?
You just did, so it doesn't matter. It's not easy.
Christ, like, where are you going?
I'm telling you. Hold on. I'm getting there.
You're like, I gotta get him on tape saying retard.
And you did it again, dude. You're doing it on your own. So the FTP Lude got rejected immediately by the algorithm. So I called down there and I was like, what the hell did this get rejected for? And all my other plates get, he's like, first guy goes, well, you do know that FTP stands for frick the police. And I was like, yeah, I guess I do. But in this case, it stands for Full Throttle Performance. And that's my shop or whatever. And he goes, okay. And also Ludes is a reference to Quaaludes. And so that could offend people. I was like, I don't think they make Quaaludes anymore. And everybody I talked to that did Quaaludes really liked them. So I don't think they're going to get offended by it.
Right.
And he's like,
got the hookup?
No, I don't. I don't anymore. No.
Who do you know in Mexico? Wait, don't you have that uncle that like sewed heart valves or something?
He just sold pacemakers.
God damn it.
Why? You can get Quaaludes from heart doctors?
I mean, they usually have money.
Oh. So
and they do Quaaludes.
Yeah. And they dry. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you always had the craziest uncles. Like, I have one uncle that's the real estate tycoon in Columbus, and the other uncle was
that uncle. That uncle owned the bar.
No. But this is how like we thought of it when we were kids. Like, there was always like one uncle does this and one uncle does that, and like we always thought our dads were a little bit like square compared to like the uncles.
Yeah, I had my rich uncle and I had my party uncle.
Yeah. No, and the party uncle is awesome. I still to this day remember like going and doing those roofs for your party uncle, and your party uncle was like, "You guys need to get fucking guys."
Yeah,
he's like, "You work too hard."
Where's your Mexicans at?
Yeah, he goes. He literally said something to the effect of like, "You guys work too hard."
Yeah. Well, he works hard. He busts his ass, but he don't.
No, he's good at what he does.
Yeah.
He moved past that point, but it was good for me to hear that because I needed. Like I said, I still remember that he told me we work too hard, and I was,
Well, and it's always been too that like we've always kind of, I guess, prided ourselves on working hard and picking up what people won't pick up.
Getting shit done.
Yeah, if it's got to get done, who gives a shit? It's got to get done.
Like,
so
either way, we don't want to have a job, so we'll take a job to not have a job.
I mean, yeah, well, I'll have a job forever probably just because I'm a tinkerer. I can't sit back and relax. I always have to be doing something, I guess.
Yeah, me too. I just feel like I need to always have a thing going. You know what I mean?
Like a project or like an adventure.
A thing going. Or a thing,
It doesn't matter what it is, I guess. It could be
exactly.
the next vacation.
I don't like what I do as a living right now.
It's a means to an end?
No, but I do in a sense of like, that's what I'm good at, solving problems. It's not necessarily that. It's not that we're great at construction. The idea is
we're great at solving problems.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We can see the thing that we're blessed with is like seeing something that looks terrible to someone and going,
It's
we
not
can
that bad.
fix it.
Yeah, we can make it work.
Yes. And I feel like a lot of people just don't have that anymore, where they get it and they're like, this is never going to happen.
No,
or how are we going to do
and a lot
this?
of it is nobody wants to make decisions. So,
Right.
like, I've got Derek runs like 20 guys or whatever for the plumbing outfit he works for, and they won't do something. They'll call him and go, "What do you want us to do?" And he's like, "Seriously, guys, just bing, 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 just do this."
Don't get mad at that. Don't get mad at that. Oh,
but that's fine. Yeah, it's fine. But I mean, it's like they got a lead guy there to make the decisions, and the lead guy's making a phone call.
you need that guy. You need the guy. So the hardest thing that I've had to deal with was in business for myself was realizing that there are going to be people that do not think like I do and do not want to think like I do. And I can get mad all I want at my employees and say, why did you not do this and why did you not do that? But they're not a business owner. They are not a business owner. They're not thinking like that. You know what I mean? So I have to change my mindset, and that has been hard for me because I've been since I was a kid. Figure it out, get it done, do it, go.
Yeah, on to the next thing. We gotta go. What's next?
You need to make that money because you're gonna do this. Like, just because you have all these things here, like, think all the money you spend on your stupid bullshit construction jobs.
Yeah.
That you're like, no one's gonna know that Mike has $7,000 in Makita shit or whatever. $10,000, whatever it is. You know what I mean? And that's what I try to get through to myself is like, don't think about why they're not thinking what you're thinking. Appreciate the fact
that they're there,
that they're doing what you're doing, and that you can help them get through it, because like you need them to be at that level in order for you to stay at your level, because if they get to your level, they're not going to stay there. And I'm not saying you hold a guy down.
No,
but at the same time,
there's guys
people,
will never be able to run their own business because they don't have the mentality.
And that's where I think you and I, you and I have been around each other our entire lives. Like, we're just that type of guys that are like, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna make something work. We're stubborn enough, and
there's probably something to be said about being stubborn.
And I feel like look at us. We're still, if you want to get in the negatives of what we are about, is it's hard to let someone else take the wheel.
Yes,
all
absolutely.
the time.
Cannot let go. Gotta have have my hand in
and
everything.
That's 99% of my problem as a business owner is letting go of the things that aren't good enough.
Yeah.
Because you look at something and you're like, oh, I wouldn't have done it that way. Or I hate how that looks. And then you're like...
And then the customer's like, oh my God, this looks amazing. You did an awesome job.
I should have just shut my fucking mouth the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's I feel like that's our crux, because like you and I could be owning giant businesses right now. You know what I mean? That's why I'm moving towards iron. I'm buying equipment because I know that I am not good at, like, the older I get, I want to learn to make money different ways. And I know that I am not good at communicating with people and making sure that I am giving them the right acknowledgement to keep them there. I have like 2 guys that have been with me and I've learned to deal with, like, I know that he's going to give me 4.5 days a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's A, B, C, and D things.
But I need him to only give me 4.5 days a week, because if he learned more, then I would be fucked as a business. You know what I mean?
I agree with that to a certain extent, but I do know that there's certain people.
Growth is weird.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You have to be uncomfortable for sure. As far as like
growth is just hard. Like, how hard do you push your guys? Do you want them to be the best guys, or do you want them to be the best guys for you? And I find that a fine line, because
that's a terribly hard line to walk, because
it is.
I know for a fact that the one thing that kind of opened my eyes up is, I was on a fishing trip or whatever, and I was bitching about how dude, this is a day job. If I would have been there, we would have been done. They're dragging it out for 3 days. And I mean, this has been years ago. Like, what in the fuck is taking so long? What is going on? And then John was like, why do they have no initiative or, I guess initiative to work any harder, because
That's their place, Mike.
if they work faster, you make more money, but they make less money. And I was like, whoa, okay. So then I tried to think about doing some sort of, per job compensation type thing, but that becomes so labor intensive on my part that it's not feasible.
There aren't people that are like us.
No.
That's why we couldn't work together, because we think of things like we're going to control it and do it and make it.
You can't have, and I agree with the fact that, like, you have to have like a chief and an Indian.
It doesn't work. And I feel like you and I have that in common. We are we got to figure this out, because
because there's never been, when both of us have been running businesses for long enough now, there's nobody else. If we can't figure it out, then there's nobody to figure it out for us. So how the fuck are we
nobody cares.
If it doesn't get done, nobody cares as much as I care. Nobody cares as much as you care. And that's the one thing with employees that I've had to realize is, it always kind of drove me nuts. It's like, I take this home, I've fucking have to work till 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock. I got a text message last night at 10 o'clock about work. It's like, hey, what are you doing when you go home? You get off at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. What are you doing? You're fucking grilling a T-bone steak and fucking drinking a beer or doing whatever the fuck you want to do. And, or eating ramen noodle. I don't know. It's not my, I don't know. It's not my place to tell you what to do, but I'm just saying, I don't know if I'm jealous of that, because I don't think I couldn't just stop at the end of the day, So it's hard for me to say, but sometimes I'm jealous of the guy that fucking has the balls to go to the gas station and get a beer at fucking 8:30 in the morning when they wake up, and they have no care in the world. Like, literally just like the complete freedom to not care. One thing, speaking of our old times, and this being a car-ish podcast, I do want to get into the Caprice Classic.
Whatever it takes to build a ramp, the Caprice would do, like the Caprice. If you need to take a bunch of pallets from behind Rod Cush Furniture, you could do it. If you needed to haul a canoe to Platte River,
Caprice would do it. Yeah. I mean,
it was a utility vehicle of its time. Like, you could say we pushed it to its limits, but
you sold it, and it's probably still running to this day. It's probably got 15-inch subs in the back of it, and it's still beating up and down the block.
That motherfucker wanted it so hard. God, he wanted it hard.
Well, I remember when you sold it, the guy was like, "Oh man, this trunk hits."
Yes.
He was like, "This trunk beats."
Because I was trying to get rid of it for a 4Runner.
Ooh, Land Cruiser.
No, that was the 4Runner. So you got to understand, I owned a couple vehicles at one time. That's the beauty of having a jobs kid. Yes.
You had the Land Cruiser at the same time you had the Caprice?
Yes, I did.
I thought you sold the Caprice to get the Land Cruiser.
and you can check Russ on this.
Okay, Russell?
He does not like a lot of vehicles in his driveway, and I'm notorious for a lot of vehicles. One thing I will do is... So I have a place in Ceresco, and there's probably 10 vehicles there total. But I just can't help it. I'm not even a car guy. That's the funny thing. Like,
you're a collector.
Yes, I don't know the difference between a catalytic converter and a
distributor cap.
Back to a different podcast, but that's a different time, different place. But yes, I like things. Long story short, I don't know where we're going with that.
We're basically going with the fact that the Caprice Classic that you had, the 87 vintage, was the first car of the group. You were the one that had the car first. You were probably the craziest out of all of our friends anyway. And so the craziest son of a bitch got the car first. And
I was willing to go 87 down F Street to get to Valentino's or whatever.
Before anybody else.
Like, we could do lunch in 20 minutes.
In 45 seconds of that was driving. Yeah, and I think that shortly after, well, let's see, so it would have been about 6 months after you started being able to drive. I was able to drive, not quite, maybe 5 months, and I had that Cavalier.
The machine, like that was the first car that we had that was an automatic.
Stick.
Yeah, or not a.
Yeah. Your car was the first car that was an automatic. Mine was the first stick car.
Edit quick.
Yeah, no, that's going to make it in the. That's going to be in it. That's going to be in the video.
Mike's the one that had the stick. Strange times.
But
it was still awesome though. Like,
yeah, and I hated that car, but I had to pay half of it because my dad said, "I'll buy you any car you want. However much money you save up, I'll pay for the other half, no matter what car it is." And then he bought a car for me and says, "Oh, by the way, you owe me $1,750." And I go, "Okay." Fucking son of a bitch. And he made me pay for it. I had to pay for half of it.
It was a badass car. Like, it was weird for that time, though. Like, why did he give you that car?
Because his cousin was moving to Germany because they were both in the military, but I think he was being stationed in Germany.
Yeah.
And it was a good deal, and it was a safe car.
Chuck, if it was a good deal, Chuck took it.
He took advantage of it.
Chuck always takes a good deal.
He probably heard the initial price.
He made money off you.
Yeah. He definitely did.
I guarantee you, part of your brother's magic tricks paid for that shit.
He waited for 3 weeks. He got back to her and goes, "You take $1,750?" And she goes, "Yeah, I'll probably take that." And then I paid for the whole fucking car. Son of a bitch. We are solving all of our childhood freaking mysteries. I probably paid for that whole thing. I thought he paid for half of it. I paid for the whole damn thing.
Dirty swindler.
Son of a bitch. But yeah, reverse to first in that thing. And then when
a nasty little car.
When my great grandma died, I inherited $1,000. That was my cut from that. And literally, this is an honest story.
Honest story. Mike was so fucking happy.
I got subs for my Cavalier, and I bought my racing bike.
Oh my God, I'm so glad Grandpa saved the money from the farm for that.
Oh, he was a veterinarian. He wasn't on the farm, but he was working for it.
Jesus, good stuff. I do remember that.
But yeah, I got my race bike, and I got my subs.
Money.
And my dad goes, "The fuck did you do?" I was like, "This is my money. I got subs for the Cavalier, and I bought a race bike for a BMX race bike.
I'll reinvest it later, bud. Don't worry about it."
If the race bike's hanging on the wall. So if you guys watch any of my other videos, you can see the race bike. Still have it to this day. Do not have the subs. Those went with the Cavalier. But
by the way, that race bike is fire, dude.
Yeah, the wheels are fire.
Oh,
yeah,
dude. Answer for
dude. That was
performance crank like. Whew.
Okay, so I got to be straight up with you. They're not profile cranks. They originally had profile cranks on them, but those are the Redline Flight 1s I bought from
nice
CycleWorks way back in the day when you had that aluminum mongoose and all that stuff. And I had my profile cranks on there I bought for that, and then on my street bike I snapped a crank arm off grinding a ledge and coming off it at Westland, and I had to freaking scooter that thing all the way home. Well, I wasn't racing anymore, so parts got raped off the race bike. So I ended up putting the Redline Flight 1s back on the race bike. So that's what's on there now. Every time I pedal it, one pedal, the cranks come loose, and I got to go tighten them again. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. I like the creak. You know, if it doesn't creak, you didn't have a performance crank.
If your crank arm doesn't move like this as you're riding,
remember the one I found in the ditch?
That was a mongoose.
Yeah, mongoose with
you had the first
Technique crank.
Techniques or
yeah, the square box
big crank. Aluminum ones.
I was like, oh, I hit the gold mine. I fucking carried that thing home that day. I was like,
yeah, we were just cruising the bike trail, and it was laying in the ditch on the bike trail.
Thank God for fucking meth. I'm glad we grew up in the meth age.
We weren't on meth, by the way. We just experienced
we didn't do meth, but like we got to build ramps with crates, and no one was like, they were like, oh, they're probably on meth, and it was us.
It was just a couple of 12-year-olds.
Yeah. Like we did a lot of stuff that people on meth would do. Like, why are they piling that dirt up over there for no reason?
Dude, I was so pissed.
They were on meth.
I don't know. Pissed is the wrong word. I was so jealous when you found that mongoose with those cranks. I was fucking jealous as fuck when I saw that, because I was like, dude, you got an aluminum bike. I had my chrome Ollie Mongoose, you know, and you had the aluminum Mongoose with those Technics cranks on it. I was like, oh, I had
I cracked the frame right away.
Oh, it wasn't right away. It was at least a couple years in.
No, it was like a year in, you fucking weirdo.
Well,
like,
whatever. A year, 2 years.
You got to think that was like a 3-year patch. You're thinking in like 10-year terms. Like, this is a...
I mean, we did go through a lot of bikes back in the day.
Yeah, dude. You can only be a faggot in the ditch digging up crakes for so many And then
remember the General Lee?
Yeah. I remember.
There's a General Lee hanging up right there on the wall.
Can't believe you broke it like that.
Well, yeah, I had Colin on. He's the BMX guy still, and he's like, "Would you cut it with the torch?" And I was like, "No, motherfucker, the frame broke, cracked, and it was folded over, and I tried to weld it back together with my dad's fucking MIG welder, and the booger welds didn't hold, and it broke again."
Yeah, that's where we're at right now.
I mean, that's the story of our life. Is like, we have a problem. I can't go try to do freaking 180 bunny hops off this curb and do some rollouts without a bike.
How many kids rode bikes and broke the frame? Us. Like, I broke 3 frames.
Dude, that's impressive. I've only broke one. Broke one.
Dude, I still remember when I broke the red line. I'm like, you were Chrome Ollie, you son of a bitch.
Well, yeah, that's that right there.
I thought Chrome Ollie was supposed to be the strongest thing ever.
It's supposed to be the cat's meow. But anyways, since this is a car podcast and we tend to go off topic and just go down a fucking rabbit hole of conversation, I'm going to bring us on back, because there's one other thing I want to talk about besides the Caprice Classic, because the Caprice Classic, I think, shaped me in multiple ways as far as burnouts and just freedom. That was the first freedom. That was the first freedom mobile.
Where, like, we got to decide, like, no, I'll decide when the burnout stops.
Or I'll decide when I'm going to go run down to the gas station and get a fucking Jolt.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to go down to McDonald's and we're going to get freaking 13
minimum maintenance road, like
13 cheeseburgers.
Like something a car can do.
Yeah.
Southwest
12th.
I get it, it's wet, but like, I'll do that.
Northwest 12th out there.
Minimum
Do you remember
maintenance road?
Cruising back in all those roads back there, Raymond Road and all those places, and we found that 69 Chevelle that was tucked back in the trees?
Yes.
I tell my
kids about it.
We went up and knocked on the door, and we're like, "Excuse me, sir," because I was a Chevelle guy. Like, Chevelle was me. I was gonna have a Chevelle. I had to have a Chevelle.
I know the guy now.
What the fuck? You know the guy now?
Yeah, I know the guy now. He still has the fucking car
sitting in the trees.
Yes. No, he's just a creep. He built a building. He was building while I built a building down the road. But he's just, I'm like, dude, we used to like look at this car because it was on the way to Branch Choke. Mm-hmm. And I told the guy, like, right at that ditch area.
There's some good stories about Branch Choke too. We'll get into that. How many minutes we got left? We got 15 minutes to wrap this stuff up. We can go along, but my camera's going to die probably. But I remember going up and knocking on the door, and he's like, "What do you want? What do you want? Who are you?"
Yeah, he's still that way.
And I was like, "You want to sell that car that's in your tree line?" "No, it's not for sale. Get out of here." All right, cool.
He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't care if it's rusting away. He doesn't want you to have it.
That car will be sold once he dies, and his kids go, "Fucking dad was such an idiot. Why did he keep this piece of shit car?"
Or he was just a dude.
He was
like
a dude.
Us.
He was just a dude. Couldn't let go of it.
Yeah.
He's like, one of these days I'm going to restore that.
You're dealing with a dude. Like,
yeah, that's true.
I'll never sell.
You kind of just fucking opened my eyes up a little bit.
I am the dude.
He was just a dude.
Yeah, he's just a dude. Like,
he's like, I'm going to fix that. I'm going to
I have a Charles Barkley rookie card. I have a John Elway rookie card. I have all these crazy cards. And I think about it and I'm like I have a Will Clark rookie card, which nobody cares anything about, but it was this like...
At the time, it was the shit.
Yeah, my thing was the San Francisco Giants were my baseball team, and I don't even know why the fuck. Like, fuck, I hate San Francisco. It's full of fucking weirdos. But that was my fucking team. Like, Jesus Christ. I'm like,
But
Jesus.
no, back then you were listening to watching
Grateful Dead. No,
Full
Grateful Dead.
House. And,
I like the Grateful Dead. They were from there. Like, Haight Ashbury, all that shit. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, what the fuck? But I don't want to sell it.
Do you remember the 24 karat gold leafed cards, the football cards that were like
totally.
They were like the embossed, the raised football player was running out. Yeah, I still have a couple of those. I remember trading those in 4th grade, 5th grade. When we were kids, we'd be like, "Oh yeah, I got a Ronnie Lott card. You want to trade that for whatever?"
Exactly, dude. I got a Ken Griffey.
I fucking don't even like football or sports, but like back then it was like my dad was into football, so like I was trying to get into it and like that stuff. It's so funny when I go to like football party or whatever. I'm like, hell yeah, man! How's Joe Montana doing? Or Cowboys, man, Troy Aikman, he's fucking been really nailing it. You know,
See,
John Elway is doing it.
I'm
Dan
on the
Marino,
side, like,
and I drop all these names from like the
mid
2000s or mid 90s, probably.
Like, I love football. Like, football.
You probably got into football as a way to hang out with your buds and like do that stuff.
I mean, yeah, gambling.
A lot of your guys.
I did it because nobody that I hung out with gave a shit about what I did. So I
needed something to do.
Exactly. And now, like, I love football. Like, I love the idea of going to the games. I love all the shit. That being said, it doesn't fit me. You know what I mean?
Like, you're a dirty hippie.
Exactly. But something's wrong with me.
You're a dirty hippie with like the super weird mindset.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe something's wrong with me.
Something's definitely wrong with you. All right.
It was Russ and Terry.
Russ and Terry. Hey, I want to thank Terry for always having the oatmeal, iced oatmeal cookies in the pantry. Because I lived off those. I think she bought them for me.
Or Russ, maybe. I don't know. I didn't like them.
Holy shit, did I eat Russ's cookies?
I hope so.
I just figured you're like, no, those things are gross. I don't like them. And I was like, these things are delicious. And I would just freaking go in there and like take 3 handfuls
Mike,
of them.
I'll be completely honest. You were the first guy that I knew that could just eat something till it was gone. Like, I remember...
if I like
getting
it, I'd smash on it.
Yeah. Pringles or something. Like, you and Ryan were, like, devourers. Whereas I was like a saver and save. And I remember you were my first friend that was like, I'm going to fucking kill that. Like, I remember with candy. Like,
well, my mom was diabetic, so
you
we
guys
couldn't have candy.
You
so
guys
like when
killed
we seen it,
candy,
like,
and I was like, damn, dude! Like, I'm fucking hiding shit. And like I said, I remember with Pringles, dude. I remember Mike could eat some fucking chips. Like, you'd eat a box of shit before fucking anybody got a bite of it. Like,
I had
Cheez-Its, something simple.
I had to change my fucking ways in my late 20s because I could fucking smash on some shit and it wasn't working for me.
Well, no, like, I think back to that and I'm like, Mike fucking taught me about eating because I just didn't even think about it. Like, I didn't even, but you were like, dude, we got to grub. And then I would be like, and my mom was like, you've been eating a lot. And I'm like, Mike can fucking eat a lot. Like, it was kind of a competition.
Oh, you just fucking blame me for that.
Oh, no.
Oh,
it was,
all right.
It was different. Like, dude, you had a freezer that was different than mine. My freezer... Like,
no, do you remember that one time we skipped school in high school and my mom got off work early for whatever reason and she wasn't mad we skipped school because she didn't realize we skipped school. She was mad that we both ate 5 TV dinners.
No, you did have the fire as shit. Like,
we had fucking pizza rolls and TV dinners.
I know. I was like, oh my God. I would remember like shit like that. Like, Mike had the fucking bomb freezer. Like, you look at my freezer, there was like some fried zucchini or some shit.
Fuck yeah, dude. Nowadays, I'm like, dude, fucking break out that fried zucchini, man. That shit sounds good.
You'd be like, dude, I got pizza rolls. I'm like, What?
Yeah,
Pizza
dude,
rolls?
We had just processed shit on processed shit.
Oh, dude, when you showed me those fucking Italian ice things or whatever, I fucking died. I would go to your house specific. I didn't even want to go there for
You
the
didn't
day.
even like me. You just left me for the fucking Italian ice.
It was the hottest day of summer. I was like, give me that fucking lemon one or whatever you got, those Mama Gooches or whatever the fuck they were. I was like, give me that fucking shit, bro.
Oh, well, holy shit, that's 100% right. I don't know why it was called Mama Gooches, but that sounds right.
They were, but I fucking ate them like, dude, they were fucking bomb.
Dude, we'd eat freaking like, that's why my mom always got mad. She was like, you guys fucking ate all the freaking Italian ices, or you guys.
We're starving. Like,
why did you smash all of our Shastas on the back patio?
Little did she know that we were trying to avoid video games. Like, that's what happens, dude.
I feel, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
We could have been video game guys now. We could be playing Fortnite, but we don't. We're like, fuck.
I played Fork Knife a handful of times, only just to piss Jackson off, and then he got better than me, so I don't play it anymore. No.
Fuck, man. I try to put on the video games. I've never been that high.
Never been high enough to play the video games?
No, I would rather just get high and be normal than play a video game.
Yeah, I don't know. Video games are...
Yeah, so what do you do after you fucking...
We have nothing to show for it. That's my biggest
yeah,
thing.
like...
And I try to explain it to my kids. It's like Harrison go like, I want to be a gamer when I grow up. I was like, that's cool. You want to be a gamer? Here's what you have to do. Now you need to start recording yourself playing these games. You need to start editing this. You need to start doing all that. He's like, that seems retarded. It seems like a lot of work. I go, well, if you want to be a gamer that makes money, you have to do all of this stuff. And it's not just playing video games all day, because that's what kids think. It's like, ooh, and you turn into a zombie. No, you have to play a video game for 2 hours, and you have to
talk about it, and
then you spend 4 hours just fucking editing and doing all the shit to make it work. And then you can get like a live stream on Twitch and do all that stuff or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It's
not happening with my kids. They're just...
Well, and Jackson, one of Jackson's friends' brothers was really big into Jackson's
that was deep.
friends' brothers. Wow. Yeah, that's what it was. I thought maybe I said it wrong, but I said it right. And he was super big into like stop animation. So he was doing things with Legos and stop animations.
Well, that's dope.
And he was adding like special effects in for lasers and bombs and shit blowing up. And Jackson's like, oh, that's fucking cool. I want to do that. And so I was like, all right, you want to do that? I got all this stuff to set you up to do it, because that was right at the same time I was getting into YouTube and doing all that stuff. So I was like, I got cameras, I got editing software, and I was using I don't even remember what it was, but it was like the cheesiest free editing software or whatever, FilmNet or something. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, dude, do it. It's super easy to use. You just literally have to
make it happen. You have to do it. You have to do it.
And he was like, yeah, this is dumb.
Right.
This is dumb. It's too much work. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the difference between them and us.
But
because
with him now, and he's got his Express over there that we just painted, and he's doing the work on it. So he's getting to experience the energy it takes and the time it takes and the gratification to get something done. And I'm telling him, I was like, no, you're not going to take the carburetor off that one. That one is complete right now. That's a runner. You're going to build this one. So now you're going to have to put a little skin in the game. Now, and he put skin in that game, but I put most of the skin in that game. But now he experienced it and he felt it, and he's like, oh yeah, I need this. I need this freaking horsepower, all freaking 4 horsepower between my legs. I need that. And so with that one, it's like, all right, you're going to do all the work. I'm not going to help you. I'll help him, but I'm not going to help you as far as I'm going to do it all. You're going to figure it out. So he's learning that it takes work in order to solve problems. So I'm happy for him in that aspect.
Catastrophe.
He laid that one down. When we hooked the front brake up, it didn't have a front brake for like the first probably 4 or 5 weeks that he had it, and he'd been tooling it around. And you can't crash when you turn on gravel with the back brake. You can if you're coming in hot, but we got the front brake in. He was coming down the alley, and he just grabbed a handful of both brakes and went, and it just slid out from underneath him. Tore his knees up, tore his palms up, tore his elbows up. And I was like, you're 13 years old, and that's your first experience like that? Man, you should have seen me back in the day, man.
Lucky bastard.
Yeah. I wasn't able to walk to freaking junior high. No, that would have been high school.
Well, I think about it.
No, never mind. That was in
think
college.
Think of my shins. My mom would be like,
holy shit, dude. Did you just say you're going to talk about your shins?
No, my shins. I still, to this day, am like, look at my shins.
Look at what I had on my topics to talk about. The word fucked shins.
No. So my shins.
I knew this.
My mom would look at our shins. We would buy these meat eater pedals that were just destroyers.
Oh, yeah.
Just fucking.
Because we didn't want to slip a pedal.
Hamburger makers. You know what I mean? Like things that would destroy a normal man.
But us as 13-year-olds, boy, we couldn't.
We took it. Long story short, Mike and I had built this ramp in front of my house.
Was this the one we built when your dad came in and he goes, wow, boys, I'm proud of you. Or maybe he said impressed.
It was terrible. It was the worst ramp ever. It was way too steep and
it was
ridiculous.
Super kicker.
Yeah, it was the worst ramp ever. So like, I don't want to butter it up one bit. Like,
but that fucker kicked us.
Nobody was impressed. Everybody was disapproved.
No, I remember your dad coming home and he goes, you fucking really built it. I think he might have said, you fucking really did it.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
It was a nasty little ramp. Long story short, I destroyed my shin on it. Like I
remember you bunny hopping over a 2x4 and doing that.
Long story short, my mom.
Over here.
I'm like, I might need stitches. Like there's some flaps here.
The
My
meat
mom's
flaps
like,
on the shin.
Nope.
Yeah.
You did that to yourself, basically. Like you wanted to ride your bike like that and get those pedals. Like it is what it is. But that was the years that we grew up.
But I remember your mom going on a bike ride with us, and she wore her Jesus sandals and slipped a pedal and ripped her toenail off, her big toenail off. And ever since then, when my kids are wearing sandals or flip-flops or whatever, I go put some fucking shoes on. I've seen what happens. I have seen what happens, and you do not want that.
And then you have me now in my sandals just fucking...
Oh, yeah, we were literally just riding your mountain bikes.
On some shredders, like death pedals. The Crank Brothers ones are nasty. Like
he
those ones...
He brought his freaking... mountain bikes, downhill bikes over, and he told me the only way I'm going to come on your podcast is if you ride my bikes, and then you're going to have to. So now I have to we're going to go to Platte River at some point and shred those, and I'm going to eat shit probably. And all right, guys, that's going to be a wrap for this one. I want to thank Travis for coming on the show, and it's been fun going down his trip down memory lane. It's been a good time. So, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and check out FTPSpeedShop.com. And go ahead and hit our Amazon affiliate links down below because those really help the channel out. So, until next time, later.